Alright, hello. I thought I'd do a short video about the state of the house as it currently is and the way it really looks. Alright, so look at these really old type of flooring, tiles, no real thing, and then it just cuts off over there. You can see all that grime and stuff like that. That's the state of the house as it was. It's still been kept that way. We made it as livable as possible, but even though the cupboards are quite worn, this has nothing in it. The fan doesn't even work. The oven was new, I believe. So what that looks like. This is how she charges us. So we have like a little payment thing at the moment. You can't think you can see it on the camera, but it says we're low on credit. We only have £3.20 left. It's gonna go in emergency if we don't call her and ask her to top up our electricity again. This is how we stack our washing because I don't have a frame. I can't go out my way to buy one. So that's how our washing is done. It's not that bad. We only have this lace front thing around the window pane when we first got here. It's the same way as it was. Nothing's changed. The fridge, I think that was new. Not too sure. That works, everything works. This fan thing up there doesn't work. It's very old, very crusted. When you take a look up over here, and right there, you see there's water damage. And it obviously must be a recurring issue because what they did is they painted it over, just to make it look a little less like that hadn't been the case. If you open the door over here, this is the garage. It was in a far worse state when I first got here. This sofa is only here because the other two tenants moved it down here to make it a bit more homely whenever their friends and such came to visit. It's like a random washing line going down there. This is the washing machine we use. Okay, now I want to go towards the door. The door wasn't always like this. The door originally didn't shut. It had a handle and it couldn't shut properly. We used to close it by putting the two level meters, stacking it against the door frame like this, and another one like that, in order to lock the door. Originally it wasn't locked. The other tenant that Charlene got to do odd jobs bolted that for us. But that's the state of the back garden. If you want to see that, that's also, quite bad. Charlene said that she'd change our doors, but she hasn't. I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, this is the state of the kitchen as it is, which is completely different from how the letting agency posted it to look. They make it look quite new. It's obviously been very heavily photoshopped. These tables and such are from the other tenants. It wasn't originally here. I think that was also in the garage beforehand, just left there. One of our other tenants moved around because her nieces and nephews come over sometimes. But just look at that. What on earth is that meant to be? Alright, so I want you to look at the roof over here. There's damp over there. This is from water damage from up above. And it came down, and apparently, when the other two tenants were here before I got there, the water came all the way cascading down here, went all the way down towards this cupboard over here. Which is where we got some stuff, wiring over there. It's very dangerous when you see water trailing all the way down there to where the electrics are. I mean, honestly. And I don't think she's done anything to remedy that either. This is how the walls and stuff like that already were. We've done nothing to change that. We've just made it a bit more homely. She's just added furniture to our rooms to appease that need. Cool. So this is the front, one of the doors. And as you see, there's no actual lock. You just lift it up, you close it, pushing it in. Maybe like a little simple bolt lock thing. Then you got all these letters. There's tons more that we've put inside the cupboard in the kitchen. But oh my days. This letter just came in, looking at it, and legit on the side, it says, penalty charge notice has been sent to you. sent to you for what? Probably because she hasn't registered the property. Running borough council trying to get hold of her. None of these letters are addressed to her address. She's the landlord. She's sending it to here when it isn't addressing them. She also tells us not to talk to other people at the door, which is insane. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show this other door. This is the actual front door. It's legit. You move this up and down to close it. You can very easily be kicked in. It's just horrific. These things are just lying on the ground. They were there when I first came. I mean, if they were like an old coat hanger or whatever, she hasn't properly fixed that. That's how the state of the floor is on the side. I mean, if you saw the state of this property when you first came, but then you came in August, and she's still saying she's going to get it fixed up by that time, would you not start to have a little bit of worries, be a bit mystified, probably say maybe this isn't the property for you? I mean, the landlord agency, the letting agency, came up to me and have literally responded with, we broke all contact and ties with Charlene. So, and you left me a student that you'd allowed to stay here when you prioritised student lets, and didn't help me to find alternative accommodation or to break out of this contract when you realised the state of what it was in like, and she hasn't done anything else towards it. She feels she can get away with just doing this. Look at the staircases. Nothing's been done. All the carpenting that was been done in the other rooms, all done by another tenant that's here. There's 3 tenants, including myself, that currently live here. This is how the boiler is. It's just heavily exposed. More signs of the problems up here. Very loose fitting light bulb there. And leading to the attic. Quite mystifying that. Very dodgy. And then, this is the bathroom. It's very old. Sketchy type thing there. You can see the rising of like damp levels there. There's this really old, disgusting fan thing that I have no idea what it's been used for. Yeah. So if you want to know what caused the, there was no water when I moved in, I think I wrote that down. And it was because when before I got here, one of the other female tenants, she switched this on. Now she had no warning, no prior warning that we couldn't use this. I don't think Charlie was aware either, but it completely shot the boiler that's over there. Started making all the water run around the house, so that's the reason why they realised that there was damages that were recurring that probably just like were dodgily covered up by Charlene. It's disgusting. So then, alright, the biggest disgust of it all. This room is the one that Charlene has left me in. Now you can see it's quite a big room, it's quite a nice room. There are quite a few issues in this room as well. First of all, look at the lights over there. Those were working lights before. You can see that the room over there is like signs of watermarks. Apparently, before I got to this room, water from the boiler came cascading from the roof down there. Shot that light bulb, this light bulb as well. I think it was dodgily tried to be handled, but nothing else was touched. I get to the window over here. This one glazed windows. It's very cold actually in this room as it is. This window over here was constantly open, kept flying open. What my housemate Ricky's done is the other tenant in the room has done, in the house has done, is turned this lock here and closed it by putting his arm that way and closing it from the end, putting his arm out over here for this one, closing over there and jamming it basically with a screwdriver. Or screwdriver or a wrench, I'm no builder. But yeah, that's how he fixed that for me, and I was very thankful. But this is currently, how I've left my room and how it is. But the most pressing part is there's no locks. No locks in any of the rooms. I mean, if I love the people that I'm currently staying with, but if it was any other case, or personal possessions aren't, the responsibility of the landlord, but yet she won't, give us some type of security. I mean, this back door down there, which is very dodgy as it is, was to be broken open. Everything else would just be taken in harm's way, And I've got a lot of stuff that are precious to me that I brought along with me for uni. Now, I'm just going to move this out the way. Be very careful there. Now, Charlene says that she has builders, which, to be honest, messes me up. Because what builders? This is the room. This is the state of the room. This is the room that I actually paid for. Yep. The room that I actually paid for, all this builder equipment, white spirit chemicals on the floor over there, some screwdrivers, some wrenches. She said that builders left it in this state. She also says the builders have her gas safety certificate. Now, let's just think about this for a moment. But what builders leave a house in this type of state? She hasn't touched this room since I moved in. She said that she'd get it done in 6 weeks, blah, 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 start getting the builders back in the house, do this room. And I was appeased with just that for the time being, for that time being, because of the fact that I thought I'd eventually get the room that I'm actually paid for and get some security, because that was my initial concern. And then I heard, then I didn't get my DPS after 14 days, but then I heard from the other tenants that they also didn't even know where their DPS scheme was being held, where their deposit was. And that was another concern listed in. I realised I also hadn't been given the gas safety certificate. I inquired about it. She said she didn't have it. She just said she didn't have it on her. And the only checks that the landlord's letting agency seemed to have done was ask her if she had a gas safety certificate. She signed, said yes on a specific date with her signature, and nothing else. So I guess you could probably just say that she's lied to her letting agency. That's another fault of hers rather than theirs. But at the end of the day, they sold it to me as if I were going to be paying for this other room. Sorry, I'm trying to grab out. They sold it to me by taking 3 or 4 different shots of this one room, when actually I'm paying for the other room. It's incredibly photoshopped. It looks completely different. When I first moved in here, didn't even have a bed. She just bought a mattress on the fly. I still sleep with a sleeping bag because it's freezing in here, so I sleep in a sleeping bag with my duvet and other stuff like that. And originally I was on the floor sleeping like that, and I don't even have basic things in these rooms like bins and stuff like that. We just use plastic bags. She made this desk on request of my parents, who said, I'm a student. If you're going to be letting this place to a student, if you allowed this place to be let as a student, you should at least have a desk in this room. And then she just added in also a wardrobe. And I could tell that she DIY framed it, because obviously nothing in this place seems to be done by a professional besides the carpets, which was done by the tenant in this house, who's a carpenter, So, yeah, that's my overview of this place. I don't want to go into any of the other tenants' rooms because they're not my rooms. But yeah, it's horrendous quality, and this is what I've been living with as a student. And to be honest, I mean, even if it was this quality, I'd at least be satisfied if I actually had the room that I paid for done. That I'm paying for done. If I didn't know, if she didn't tell me that room wasn't mine and she may give it to somebody else, if she didn't say that to me, I probably would feel less insecure, as I have been this past time, feeling so worried of where am I going to stay, what am I going to do, with her not allowing me to have any leniency, and of not telling anybody else where our deposit is, so I won't even know if I'll get my money back at the end of the day. And with all these letters coming in from all these official agencies, and her just saying, "Oh, don't talk to officials or anybody who comes fishing through the door, because obviously she's not paying the tax for this place and she's not registered it under the housing multiple occupancy. She even had the gal to say to me that it was a shared house. And what does that mean if it's a shared house? Does that mean that I technically don't have a contract with you? That means I can stay here for like a weekly basis without having a contract with you? I don't even understand what she's bullshit keeps on coming out with. And I think she's obviously lying to me about how she dealt with the letting agency, because she obviously lied to the letting agency, but I'm also disgusted with how the letting agency sold this place, and how they just left me, the customer that they left this place to, in the state that they did. They realized, okay, yep, this landlord lady is dodgy. Let's cut all ties with her in terms of working with her in the future. But let's ignore the present mistake that we've done, which is leaving a student in this horrendous house with more concerns on her plate than what she should have as a student. It's just, I'm appalled. I'm done. Thank you very much.